They don't announce it. They don't warn you. Midnight doesn't arrive loudly. It slips in quietly, between one breath and the next. And when it does, the world loosens. Just a little. That's when cats begin to move differently. Most people think cats are nocturnal because they like the dark. That's the surface explanation. The truth is darker. Cats aren't drawn to night. They're drawn to what night allows. Because midnight isn't just a time. It's a threshold. Every ancient culture understood this. Midnight was never considered empty. It was considered thin. The hour where rules weaken. Where boundaries soften. Where doorways, normally sealed, briefly unlock. Not doors made of wood or metal, but passages made of perception. And cats are the guards. You've seen the signs. A cat staring at a hallway that leads nowhere. Watching a corner with impossible focus. Sitting perfectly still in a doorway, as if blocking something unseen. You assume they're bored, or distracted, or hunting dust. But cats don't waste attention. They conserve it. Which means when they stare at nothing, nothing is not what they're seeing. At midnight, cats position themselves deliberately. They choose door frames, stairwells, closets, windows, places humans pass through without thinking. Places that already represent transition. Because those are the weak points. The overlaps. The spots where one space can quietly become another. Cats understand something humans forgot. Space isn't solid. It's negotiated. And at midnight, the negotiation reopens. This is why cats insist on entering rooms before you. Why they pause at thresholds. Why they hesitate. Then cross suddenly. They're checking alignment. Testing whether the doorway leads where it should. Or somewhere else. Sometimes, they refuse to enter at all. You call their name. They stare past you. Tail low. Ears angled. Body tense. They're not scared. They're assessing. Because not every doorway opens safely. There are doors that open inward. And doors that open out. Cats know the difference. Humans don't. You've probably noticed this too. At exactly midnight, cats become restless. They pace. They vocalize. They patrol. Not randomly. Ritually. As if responding to a schedule older than clocks. Cats didn't evolve alongside humans by accident. They weren't domesticated. They stayed. Because our homes are built on intersections. Heat, shelter, food, attention, and something else. Something subtle. Something unfinished. Every human home contains leftover space. Corners where sound dies. Rooms that feel heavier at night. Staircases that echo incorrectly. Cats feel that. They listen to what walls don't say. At midnight, those spaces attempt to reconnect. Not violently. Not dramatically. Quietly. Like a door unlocking without a sound. This is why cats sit in your bedroom doorway at night. They aren't watching you. They're watching past you. Protecting the boundary between sleeping consciousness and wandering awareness. Because when you sleep, you drift closer to the doorways. Dreams are adjacent spaces. Cats know this. They've always known. That's why they sleep so much. They practice moving between layers. There's a reason cats can appear somewhere without sound. Why they seem to teleport. Why they vanish and reappear behind you. They don't travel farther than you do. They travel sideways. At midnight, the sideways paths align. And cats take their positions. Some doorways don't lead away. Some lead through. Moments where reality thins just for something else to look back. Cats don't let those moments linger. They block them. Sit on them. Seal them with presence. A cat in a doorway is not resting. It's standing watch. This is also why cats react violently to sudden disturbances at night. A noise you can't locate. A movement you didn't see. A silence that feels wrong. Cats respond instantly. Because something crossed when it shouldn't have. Ancient households understood this. Cats weren't pets. They were stationed. Placed near doors. Entrances. Sleeping chambers. Not for luck. For containment. Even today, Cats choose their guard posts instinctively. You didn't train them. You couldn't. The behavior existed long before walls did. If you've ever locked eyes with a cat at midnight, you may have felt it. That brief discomfort. That sense of being evaluated. Not emotionally. Spatially. As if the cat is confirming. You still belong here. Cats don't trust humans completely. Not because we're cruel, but because we're careless. We walk through doorways without noticing. When they change, cats notice. They always notice. That's why they sometimes refuse to let you close a door. They wedge themselves into the frame. They sleep across thresholds. They interrupt. They block. They delay. They are preventing a seal that shouldn't happen yet. Some doors must remain partially open until the alignment resets. Cats wait for that moment. Then they move. Midnight is brief. The window closes fast. By 12:01, most doorways are inert again. Silent. Safe. That's when cats relax. Sleep. Disappear into comfort. Their shift is over. You think they're just being strange, but they're exhausted. Guarding reality is quiet work. The unsettling part. Cats don't guard every doorway. Only the active ones. Which means if your cat never leaves a certain spot at night, that doorway opens more often than it should. Cats don't panic about it. They simply adapt. They sit. They wait. They hold the line. And one more thing. Cats don't guard these doorways for us. They guard them because if they did, something else would. So tonight, when the clock hits midnight, and your cat stops moving, when they stare at a doorway that looks ordinary, don't interrupt them. Don't distract them. Don't call their name. They're busy. Because some doors only open once a day. And someone has to be there to make sure they close again. If this felt familiar, you're paying attention. Subscribe. Not for answers, but because the next doorway won't announce itself either.